Hi there, I'm Jen Rice, and today I wanted to go over 8 foods in particular that are good to avoid, especially if you have things like arthritis or are experiencing just increased joint pain. Specifically, this is increased inflammation. And so number 1 would be sugar. And no surprise that that's on the list, right? Because sugar, we know, in larger quantities can cause more inflammation. It sets off a response in our system. And sugar, high sugar foods, all of our food seems to have a lot more sugar than it used to. And so just, I guess the best tip is to be mindful of what you're eating and how much the sugar content may be in that. And it's not to say you can't have anything sweet, but we just want to pick wisely with that. Second one would be saturated fats. And that would be in things that are maybe deep fried foods, things that are heavily processed can have more saturated fat content. So you want to check that on the box. Number 3 is trans fats. So I never really knew where these were, but this is like specifically found in, of course, cookies, donuts, margarine. But what's surprising is it's also found in these frozen breakfast preparations. So you see all these neat, I know my mom likes these too, but they're like these frozen prepared breakfast things, and those can be hiding a lot of trans fat. So you want to check the trans fat in there, and it'd be good if it just didn't have, if it had 0, right? Not just lower, but 0. 4 is omega-6 fatty acids, and those are found in corn, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil. I've actually been cooking more so with grapeseed oil because it has a high cooking point, but I think it might be better for me to go back to using avocado oil instead. And so, this is all kind of it's definitely a learning process as we go. We don't always hit it out the park all the time. I definitely don't have it wired and perfect, but I think that knowing what you're looking for, you can make some changes otherwise. So staying away from those oils like the corn oil, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, limiting those. You don't have to completely remove them, but limiting those would be good. Number 5 is refined carbs like bread, rolls, crackers, and things like instant mashed potatoes. I used to love instant mashed potatoes. I mean, I haven't had them in a really long time, but I remember eating those as a kid. And so those are the refined carbs that we're talking about, trying to limit those. 6 is MSG. So we've heard of this through Chinese food like monosodium glutamate. It's found in salad dressings, some lunch meats. So you just can ask always if you're someplace, if it has the MSG, they should be able to tell you, or if you're reading the labels of salad dressing, you would see that. I've got a little whiny baby out there somewhere. Our foster dog, when he hears me talking, sometimes he likes to try to get part of the conversation. So maybe we'll get a visit, maybe not. 7 is gluten and casein, which the gluten, of course, is found in wheat and products like wheat, rye, and casein is found in dairy products. So you won't really know if this helps your arthritis or joint pain until you eliminate it for at least 2 to 3 weeks and see if it's helpful. And then the final one is aspartame, which I drank a lot of Diet Coke way back in the day, and actually up until about 3 years ago, I would drink Diet Coke. That was like my soda choice. But it does have the aspartame in it. There are 4,000 products, I was reading, 4,000 products that have aspartame. So it can be hidden in all kinds of things. So we don't want to spend our whole life reading labels, but I think if you're buying anything in a box or a jar, can, you got to see what else is in there. We don't really have to guess about this, any of these 8, if we're eating vegetables, fruits, whole foods that are close to their source, so things that have been minimally processed. But if we're buying something in a box or frozen, we should check for these 8 things in there. So I hope you guys have found this video helpful. And I am doing a Health Seekers Challenge, which starts on Sunday. So Sunday, August 25th. And it's 14 days to dive deep into inflammation, things that we can do to better our health. It's got a specific focus on insulin resistance because there are several practitioners that feel that the root of all chronic disease begins with insulin resistance. And to kind of know your numbers, know what to look for, to work with your primary care doctor or providers in your area to make sure that you know your numbers and you know what your tests are, where you're standing right now, as well as with heart health. There are some inflammatory cardiac markers that can be really good for us to know ahead of time. And overall, just kind of, putting yourself first. Like, for so long, I put everything else first before my health, like work, my home business, my family, my pets, everything before taking care of my own health. And so investing in yourself and taking this short course, it's just 2 weeks. It's not about going on a radical diet. It's not about having to change or cut food out cold turkey. It's just about you exploring functional medicine and anti-inflammatory lifestyle by learning some key concepts with it, being able to take some action steps with you. And hopefully that would set you in a great spot for the fall. And as we move into the holiday season, you'll at least be equipped with the information you need and perhaps some new things, I would hope, that could really make a difference for you. So if you'd like to learn more about that, please send me a direct message. I'll also put the link in the comments. Again, we're starting Sunday, and I would love to have you. Take care.